So, for those of you who are new here, I recently started my Zepbound journey and I'm wrapping up week number 2. This week definitely taught me a few things. One of them really surprised me. The biggest thing I've noticed is a definite change in my appetite. The food noise is still very quiet. It did start to come back a little a day or two before it was time for my third shot. But after I took my third shot, the noise quieted right back down. Because the food noise is almost non existent, I do actually have to remind myself to eat. Most of the time, I'm eating because I know that my body needs the nutrition, not necessarily because I'm hungry. So, the good news is that I have not had any major side effects. Honestly, after reading the reviews, I did not know what to expect. So I feel pretty fortunate that I did not have any major side effects or anything like that. I also wasn't nearly as tired this week that I was the first 2 weeks. I am definitely again eating much less than I was when I started. So I know what you're waiting for. You're waiting for the weight loss. Well, the scale didn't move the way that I hoped. In fact, I actually gained 2 pounds. I tend to retain a lot of fluid, so I'm pretty sure that that had something to do with it. But that's why I make sure that I tell people not to rely on the scale alone. I actually weighed myself before I started, and well, actually, not before I started the second week, the beginning of the second week, I weighed myself. But I also took my measurements and I measured my waist, my hips, and my thighs. You can pretty much measure wherever you want, but you do want to take measurements as well. And I'm glad I did because even though the scale didn't cooperate, I did lose 1 inch off my waist. So let's hear it for the girl. So that was, a pretty good reminder that the scale doesn't always tell the whole story. So let me share with you a few things that I've learned over the last 2 weeks. In case if you're thinking about starting a Zeppelin journey, the first one is, of course, don't just weigh yourself before you start. Take your measurements as well. And trust me, you'll be glad that you did. The second thing is that I learned is that protein is really, really important. Now, my goal is around 100 to 120 grams a day. And I'll be honest, I am not hitting that goal. But that's something that I'm really going to focus on this week. And also, that can interfere with your weight loss as well, not eating enough protein. The next thing is the water. Now, for me, it's recommended that I drink 80 to 100 ounces a day, and that works out to be about 16.9 ounce bottles of water. So right now, I'm only drinking about 2 or 3 bottles a day. So I definitely need to step that up as well. I also learned that strength training is highly recommended while you're on Zepbound, and that's because it helps to preserve your muscle so that as you lose weight, it may help to reduce like your loose skin and prevent you from losing muscle as well. So haven't started that yet, but I am gonna start this week. So when I come back next week, I'm gonna tell you that I joined the gym. Also, if you happen to be on a Medicare Advantage plan, check your benefits because many of the plans offer a free gym membership, and then some of them also may offer, if they don't give it for free, they give you a reimbursement if you join the gym. So you definitely want to check for that. One last thing is I am using the Zepbound Quick Pin through the bridge program. And one thing that I didn't know before I started was that it doesn't come with the needles. You do have to buy them separately, but you can get them through your pharmacy or even on Amazon. So you don't have to worry about that. And the needles do come in different sizes. Mine was rather long, but again, they come in different sizes, so you don't have to get it that long. But I didn't feel the injection at all. So that's my 2 week update. Next week, I will be back letting you know how week 3 went. If you are on your own Zepbound journey, let me know in the comments what week you're on. I'd love to cheer you on. And if you're thinking about starting Zepbound and you have questions, leave those in the comments as well. So thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next week on my next update. Bye bye for now.